Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. This one's going to take place on Merry-Go-Round, the new 3-player map that's coming to the ladder pool in Season 2. So I figured since it was the map on 1v1 OBS, it would be kind of a fun way to experience a new map and see how much I like it. I am the Purple Terran, spawning in the left-hand position, and in the right-hand position is my opponent. And I'm going to try to pronounce that. Delegthakos? Never mind. But he is a diamond level Zerg player. So 3-player map's kind of interesting. 1, 2, and 3 spawns. And the one thing I like about this map that no other 3-player map had was this. This barrier, this like a hockey plexiglass going around the entire arena, is actually something that air units cannot fly by. So no air units can go back in this corner here, which actually means your base is not that open to Mutalisks, because Mutalisks cannot come in from this angle. So that's pretty good. We got a natural expansion, which is pretty easy to defend. With the ramp close to the planetary, you can get a nice little wrap. It is wide open, so there's a lot of high ground space for them to do things, but at least the ramp is close to the PF. The ramp is also inside a little bit. It doesn't jet out like it does in, say, Yonsu, so it's not as big of a threat to like troops getting ferried up to the high ground here. But again, with all this space like here where like siege tanks and stuff could set up, it's pretty bad for TvT, I guess. We do have a third base that's quite close to the high ground, so another situation where I can take a third quickly against Zerg with a siege tank. Yeah, so I think I kind of like it. Bring out the production tab, and I guess we'll just set it to my vision. Camera lock. 2x speed. Alright, so since it's a 3-player map, I decided to do my 1 gas build, or gas first build, where instead of doing an engineering bay block, I get gas before my command center. And what that does is it means I can survive off of 1 gas. I don't have to take the second, and that mineral saved allows me to get my 3rd command center down quicker. It's okay. I prefer engineering bay block when available, just because I'd rather slow down the Zerg than speed up myself. So transferring my wrap to the low ground, kind of just double checking to make sure that SCV can't pass by there. Bombs and ramps are sometimes hard to tell how to get the correct position of the barracks. This camera moving all around on its own I don't like. So let's go back to the everyone view. Alright. So doing a little poke here, I did scout. I think what I did is I scouted 1 guy, and if I found him I would have done the inch-way block. If I didn't, at least I know where he's located. So now I'm doing a little feint push across the map. And we do run into some Zerglings. And it doesn't look like I forced out any additional Zerglings from him, although he already had 6 in production on top of the 10 or so he already had, so that's okay. I mean, it's not like it's all drones, which is all what really matters. So setting up my 3rd command center with timing it with the siege tank. Just go factory, command center, then the factory pumps out siege tank as fast as possible. Followed up by the turret ring. And the starport, and with the high ground siege tank we are able to... I forget how loud replays can get. The high ground siege tank we are able to shoo away these Zerglings. Which he's morphing into a bunch of Bailings, so it takes 19 Bailings to kill a planetary, and he has 22 right here. But, so he sends a 1 out front to focus fire, but then I aim in the back, so right there, you can see he was kind of clever to send 1 out front. I don't know if I'd send it out front so much as to the side, as long as it's the first thing within range. Because by the time I shoot this, the other Banelings are so far behind that there's actually plenty of time for me to get my second shot off. And then you can notice I'm aiming in the back. So I pop the Banelings in the back so they all explode outside of range of the planetary, leaving him with only, what is that, 13? 13 Banelings to cram into the planetary. And like I said, it takes 19 to kill a planetary. So, not enough. There's some wasted troops. When you're spam clicking with the planetary to aim, you're probably going to screw up the rally points of your planetary as well, so be careful with that. Using my Viking to scout for the overload. This is one thing I've noticed if you do what I do and you kind of just spam click a Viking around the map. If you ever click outside of the of this wall area, your Viking can sometimes get like all stuck and broken. We'll see it later, I think, if I'm paying attention. But yeah, make sure when you set this rally point it's not in places outside of this wall, just because it makes the Viking go like kind of stupid for a little while. So poking in with some roaches. I like this like random set of rocks just like in certain areas. It's not destructible either. He knew I had a planetary both faces, so I'm not sure what he's doing there besides perhaps trying to get a vision on my composition. Yeah, see, this is where like the Viking's kind of stupid, right? It's trying to get at that point. I guess eventually it would probably figure it out and go on to the next point. But maybe not. Maybe just stay stupid. It could have something to do with the fact that it's on this little... No, it never figured it out. I had to manually change it. So that's interesting. He did send out a couple more overlords too. So hopefully those get cleaned up at some point. I think I missed something there. So I saw a bunch of speed overlords. A whole bunch of them. Which made me a little bit panicked. Because, you know, Doomdrop is a hard counter to my build. I almost never see it, but and at this point in the game I do have Raven, so it wouldn't kill me per se. Or at least I could counterattack if it is going to kill me.
Our allies are being attacked.
Switching it to the observer chat, seeing what what they thought of that.
Our allies
So when I do see it coming, it's a little bit easier to deal with. So I'm trying to establish a forward base. Expanding towards my Zerg opponent is always a great thing for me, and I figured I'd have no issue setting it up because I have like Ravens and Hellbats and SCVs and a lot of whatnot. And I thought he lost the majority of his army in that drop, but those overlords are mostly empty actually. So it looks like I'm gonna have to fall back and actually lose these command centers. I wasn't looking too closely at the army size here, so I still was in my head like, well, I should be able to set up because I just blew up his drop. So maybe if I send in the Hellbats with auto turrets, that'll be enough. But clearly not. Random throwaway auto turrets. So that command center is going down. Sending out my Ravens to counterattack. And where things looked good at the start, he is on 4 bases, and he's got a lot of static defense, which is always an issue for my Ravens. And spines are the static defense that really hurts me, a lot more than spores. Spores like in the mineral line are really tight to the base is actually pretty useless against Mass Raven. Spores are, say, like way on the outside, like here and here and here, are pretty good at zoning out the Ravens. But for the most part, spines are the scary thing because it makes it so auto turrets don't have much of a purpose, which is my main harass tactic. And if I can't harass, I'm kind of in trouble. So Zerg is taking his 5th. I'm trying to set up my 4th here. Just building it in position. I figure with my Ravens out in the field, he'll be a little bit distracted. I'm trying to just get a nice little concave on the ramp here. Normally I like to wall off the ramp, but if I walled off the ramp, I would have been range of a couple of spines. So I figured I'd just get a concave on the ramp. Get as few spines within range of these auto turrets as possible, force his army to trade with auto turrets. But concaves are only so good when you're facing Roach Hydra. And he's being smart, not streaming in like it is in a line, and he's actually stutter stepping his way in. So he waited for his troops to ball up, and now he's stutter stepping in, which is all good things. So he will take some losses here. Seeker missiles on drones, I typically do not suggest that. However, when you're facing like this many spine crawlers, auto turrets are useless. So if you actually want to do any sort of harassment damage, Seeker missile is your only option. And actually Ultralisk on the field now, which is a lot of trouble. So spines to defend against all the auto turrets, and then Ultralisks are also great versus auto turrets, so not looking great for me here. I'm going to lose another command center. Got another one to float off. I guess I'll pick up the speed of the replay a bit. Lots of spines at each base. Lots and lots of spines. So usually when I see that many spines, I'm just like, well, I'll let him take that base and mine it out completely, and I'll just try to prevent him from taking the next one. But he keeps taking the next one. He keeps getting tons of spines in the next one, so... lost some Banshees there before Cloak was done. Wasn't microing that well. He's actually cutting in here. Right now some auto turrets in the back here. Should be able to shut down his gas mining and take out his Ultra Cavern. And actually forcing him to fall back, which is kind of nice because I'm not sure I was in a good spot here. I do have the Banshees with Cloak now, so eventually I'd be able to take him down. So again, taking out the new bases, trying to prevent the trying to take them down before the spines can get set up. Did lose his Ultra Cavern. I'm not sure if he's building another one. I may have missed it if he did. So I'm doing a lot of auto turrets here trying to snipe the hatchery, but doesn't look like I'm just going to be successful. No, it's not. I guess I should check if an auto turret here or here can get range on this extractor. It's a little bit, an auto turret here, here. Like when you take away the high ground, it's actually, it's kind of like it's in these two hexes. Just because of the perspective of it being on the high ground. So I think it's close. They might be in range. It would be kind of nice to know if an auto turret can shoot down an extractor there, because that's actually, that'd be kind of a nice little spot for one. And if it can't, then it's kind of a useless spot for an auto turret. Two Seekers per Queen. I think that's what I'm doing right now. A random Raven out in the middle of the map. This was ambitious of me. Actually, no, I don't do it. I think at one point I tried to throw down like all the auto turrets I could in this area and snipe this hatchery before the spines killed all the auto turrets. Did not work at all. I did like 10 damage to the hatchery. One thing I like to do whenever I'm repairing with SCVs is to right-click the hatchery a bunch of times and then shift-click somewhere else, like in this case to these minerals. And what that'll make the SCVs do is they'll repair as long as they possibly can, and well, they're all dead. Never mind. But as soon as a PF goes down, they'll mineral walk over to somewhere else. So then I don't have to look at it and then SCVs will do a best as a job as possible at trying to stay alive. Do I focus down the hatchery? I do not. I guess I'll get some spines anyways. Do kill some more workers. I mean, I've killed, let's see, workers killed. Oh, you can't do it because of Zobs. Never mind. Maybe if I go to one of the observers, does it say the stats in here? What's this 29? How many active harvesters? Well, our active harvesters are only 30 and 40. Interesting. So these ultras are still going around taking out bases, but he's not finding my bases very quickly, so that's nice. And he's mostly playing defensive against the Ravens. So I sent out my Cloak Banshees to deal with this here. As he took out this space, my Cloak Banshees got some damage done on the Ultralisk as well. And oh, too bad. Oh wait, am I looking? Ravens, come on! Ah. I made it a point to Seeker all the Hydralisks there. That way my they wouldn't die to the Banshees, because he does have 2 Overseers. Or they wouldn't kill the Banshees. So I figure if I can take out his anti-air, or at least take out enough of it where my Banshees can overwhelm the Hydralisks, then I can get a lot of damage done, or at least push them back. Cloak Banshees are pretty good defensively, because you're not going to run into any static detection. So it's just the things like Overseers. The other thing you can do is just Seeker the Overseers, and then the Cloak Banshees can have a little field day. So when he commits moving forward like that, it does kill Ravens, but also means the Seeker missiles are guaranteed to hit. This is bugging me, only having 2 in this geyser. It's been like that the entire time I've had this base. But luckily, I'm not going to have this base for long anyways. Oh, they're not even repairing. Oh, yes, they are. No, they're repairing each other. Yeah, so there's like the mineral lock I set up afterwards. Only 2 escape, but it's something I don't even have to look at, which is nice. I can be around here doing my other things. Oh yeah, so here's why I threw down a lot of auto terrorists, just trying to snipe this hatchery. It has at 200 hit points at the time. Pretty huge fail. I got like 70 hit points off of it. So now plan B is to try to just establish one side of the base. Take down the spines on one side, and then eventually I can get, once the spines are down, I can take out the hatchery. He's trying to relocate spines over there, but I sniped the hatchery as he's doing it. Interesting. So harvesters are a higher priority than spine crawlers that are uprooted. Never knew that. So another attack, but he does not have enough. And Zerg is getting pretty starved out now. He's on his original 3 bases, and as long as I can keep it that way, he's going to be in trouble. Yeah, I can kind of see that. So at this point, I'm just, this base, this one, and this one, I gotta try to keep an eye on. I got Hellbats just kind of keeping an eye on these other bases. You know, this Hellbat's patrolling between these two. Unlikely to take those ones, but I have vision, so it's just these four that are closest to him that I'm trying to keep an eye on. I am establishing a new base myself. The harvester count is pretty low on both sides. I got 14 harvesters. He's got 33, but he probably doesn't have anywhere to mine from with those 33. He's got this space left with no gas, and that's it. Looks like a bit of a swarm host transition, which can be a decent unit in starve out games, I guess. You know, it's got the free unit ability. Any sort of free stuff is good when both sides are starved. Things like energy units or things to make broodlords or locusts for free. Distance mining over here, but my auto turrets do catch wind of it, so heading that way. When I see distance mining, that makes me very happy. That means he probably doesn't even have enough for a hatchery. Which he does not. He's actually spending the money as he's getting it too. And yeah, I think this game's more or less over. I've established another base over here. I've established a base over here. Just gotta get the harvester count up and get people in gas geysers. But at this point, it feels pretty over, so I'm not paying too much attention. It's funny how often people don't deal with seeker missiles. People try to burrow to avoid seeker missiles. Played a Protoss the other day. He wasn't used to seeing ravens. He was trying to like side storm the auto turrets, which doesn't work because auto turrets are structures. Yeah, even when I cast Seeker from the retreat path of roaches are still able to get out of range. Speed roach is pretty good, even off of creep. Uh-oh. Still just double checking. And I think... Yeah, okay, so he finally left the game. So we'll probably cut off this video here. So this is where I'll say, you know, hit that follow button. Thanks for tuning in. Check the thumbs up link in the description. All that good jazz. And then the next match is actually against another Zerg, and we'll see a planetary fortress rush. So that'll be the next video. I'm going to cut off this video here and start the next cast. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in, and goodbye.